Welcome Southside Life fans back to the Southern Talk Show. I'm your host Quincy Beard here with
Ash Matthews.
And we got some special guests here, Mr.
Zeb Anderson.
Jackson Atfield.
And if you notice, you've never seen this man before. That's because he's usually our production manager, but he knows to play a little bit of baseball.
Yep.
So they're here we're gonna talk about some baseball this season. You know, right now y'all's record is 10-5, but in conference you're 3-2. It's actually not bad. You know, I guess starting off conference.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Compared to last year, that's
Definitely a big
Some major
jump forward.
improvements, yeah.
That's nice. You know, the one thing that really stands out to me is you only have 2 seniors, and just you know, what's the struggle with that? You usually look for that upperclassman, but you only have 2 real veterans. Just kind of talk about that.
not really. I mean, a difference. They're good. The rest of the team's good. I mean, if we had another senior, it wouldn't really make a difference. Just maybe more pitching.
And it's just kind of like the past few years we haven't really been that good. So I mean, spark for anyone wanting to join baseball hasn't been that high. So in the past, no one really has wanted to play. Like ever since COVID, we haven't had more than 3 seniors in a year. So I mean, it's just kind of like we have to spark. If we do good this season, it'll spark for younger kids to want to play and hopefully build more seniors and more people to play throughout high school.
I remember, you know, back when I was young, there was like of my class, there was like at least 8 or 9 of us that were on the baseball team. And it just, I guess there was just a time when it just kind of stabilized.
Yeah.
No one really wanted to like.
Well, there was a reason for that.
Yeah, I think everyone had a. I think everyone was really impacted by the COVID, but baseball,
Yeah.
a little harder.
All right, so y'all got a bunch of big games coming up. Tell us a little bit about that.
This conference game that against Truman, right now our placement, it just depends on this game if we win or lose, which we should win. But if we're top 5 in the conference, then we're going to be placed like well bracket wise. But if we're anywhere below that, it's going to be tough. But we just got to win tonight. Well, we got to win every conference game.
You know,
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you want that higher up, so you ain't got to play as much. And you know, you got district tournament coming up.
Yep.
I mean, that's a big deal. You know, who's right now the heavy hitters? Like who's the ones to watch who might, you know, come as a challenge later on?
Definitely Brooklyn. We got defeated by them this past week in conference, but we weren't ourselves in that game. I guess you could say we went in there nervous, which is good to have nerves, especially against a team that we deserve to play because we were number 2 and they were number 1. But definitely them, and I hope to play some different teams like Highland. We haven't played them yet this season, but they'll be a good team. Pocahontas, they're the top 3, so I mean we're gonna look forward to playing them. But as the 4th seed right now, if we beat Truman, we'll stay higher seeded. So we'll play some pretty good teams. But if we move on to farther on in district, we'll be pretty good and sit pretty well. So.
Okay. You know, when you look at, I look at back to what you're saying with nerves. You know, it is good to be. You know, you never want to be cocky. You never want to go into, and we're gonna. But I would always say that you always be optimistic.
Yeah.
To be like, I mean, hey, we're gonna do our best, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and like Coach Winter told us after the game, he was like, we went in there 5 innings. He said we were doing all right, but then our belief fell way off, and that just kind of what screwed us over, I guess you could say, because we just kind of went downhill from there.
You know, speaking of Coach Winters, you know, you got some new coaches this year. What's that like? You know, they're having to adjust to you, and then you're having to adjust to them. You know, what's the challenge?
It definitely helps. Like it has made a big difference this season compared to the last seasons, because coaching staff. I wasn't here, but from what I heard, really wasn't coaching staff. He really didn't coach. He just kind of threw people out there.
Yeah.
And they got mad. So I mean,
And as a coach, you can't.
yeah, you can't just. I mean, getting mad, like that's fine, but you got to teach your team.
You gotta have a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing against our previous coach, but like what I was telling my parents, like with this new coach, Coach Winter and Pinkett, they tried to make us better, but Coach Pinkett, Coach Winter, make us want to get better, and like they have a certain way they do practice that makes us want to get better and want like to strive to be the best we can.
Yeah, if the coach, I've always said this about a leader. If your leader is not, as I would say, going through the same struggle as you, then you're not really gonna wanna push yourself. If he's not pushing himself, why would you wanna push yourself? So your leader is your example, and as long as your leader's doing his job, it'll all fall in line. Definitely what I did for this year for drum major. Yeah, you just gotta make sure you're always optimistic and you're always putting a smile on your face. Well, that's great to hear about the baseball, you know. I know y'all play more than I think any sport combined, because I think you were telling me you played 4 games last year, in 4 days.
Well, that was this year, actually, last week.
Yeah, last week, yeah, I mean, actually, I don't remember, but I remember basketball played 2 a week. And football only plays 1 a week, so, or high school.
Exhausting.
Yeah, so I gave a lot of props.
It'd be even worse, because like at Batesville, we had to do double headers. Like there was
Yeah.
no JV after like the varsity games, 2
Yeah.
varsity games back to back.
Yeah. This year they've changed that to where you only play 1 game instead of a double header for conference.
Oh,
So,
good deal.
I mean, that kind of helps with it, but still, like next week we were scheduled to have 5 games. One of those got canceled, but still, it's pretty tiring. But like Coach said, we don't complain about it much, so we handle it pretty well.
Good deal.
It's a lot.
Well, it's glad to have you on the show. Zeb, we'll like it when you get back on one of these. But y'all will have a great season and wish y'all the best of luck. Make sure y'all follow us on all of our social media. And I'm Quincy Beard.
I'm Ash Matthews.
And these are our special guests. We'll see y'all next time.